So we're going to start off our conversation with just something you guys have been doing extremely well in student ministry. Um, there are a lot of ways to connect over social media, and churches have been doing that for years now. But right now, it is very important while we are socially distanced from each other. So I want us to talk about what are some of the fun things that you know to do or have done to connect over social media.
No, I'll start. I'll lay a foundation, and then I'm going to let Erin talk about what we've been doing because she's been a creative driver there. We are basically assuming that our students are bored out of their minds and that they want to connect. And so basically, if we have an idea and one of us texts it to the other, I don't think yet either of us has said, hey, that's a bad idea, because any idea is a good idea when people are desperate for connection. And so as we've been processing the things that we do, which we've primarily been on Instagram, and that's because we have a little over 500 followers, probably 400 of those are teenagers, if not more, who are either students, high school students, junior high kids, or college kids. So the interaction we've had has been pretty robust and pretty cool. We've been sending some of that stuff to Facebook so to get parents involved. But overall, it's been a lot of Instagram, and we picked that just because that's the platform where we have the biggest span of influence and the broadest reach with our students. And so we don't overthink anything right now, which is hard for me, but we're not overthinking anything. If we bad idea, it's a good idea, and almost everything's a good idea, and so we're running with it. And so with that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to Erin and let her tell you all a little bit about some of the specific things we've been doing.
Yeah, and we've chosen Instagram as our platform because most of our students reside there as their primary social media platform, and so we've kind of just decided that it's wisest to spend the most amount of time there. And we've kind of seen the fruits of that lately. Within the last week, our Instagram engagement has been up 500%. We've got about 20 more followers on it. So it's clear from the stats that people are using Instagram much more now lately. But we've been doing things like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we post a challenge for the kids. And this serves a couple of purposes. One, to take up some time while they're in quarantine, and also just to give them something to look forward to. It's always nice when you're indoors for like an extended amount of time to have that next thing that you're really looking forward to, saying, okay, I know I can make it to Thursday. There's going to be another fun challenge on Instagram. It's going to take a little bit of time for me. And so that's been really fun. We've done things like a basketball trick shot. We had the kids make a drawing or sculpture of Daniel, and they had a lot of fun with that one. We also had a dance challenge, and today we've got an Instagram scavenger hunt going. So we're really excited to see those results. And the kids have been participating and sharing, and so that's been really fun. We've also been pushing our student services through Instagram. Our Wednesday night Bible study is on Instagram Live, and we do a pre-recorded Sunday service. So we've gotten a lot of engagement and had some great feedback on that. So it's been fun.
You know, one of the values of our church and our staff culture is that we crawl, then walk, then run. We've been intentional with what we're doing online, particularly the Tuesday, Thursday, we call it COVID Crazies Challenge. There was the initial feeling of, hey, let's do something every single day to keep them engaged. Like almost like a hastiness to try to figure out things to do, and yet at the same time, I don't think we would be pulling anything off with nearly the efficiency and as well as if we just started running from the get-go. And so really, we kind of slow rolled some of this stuff last week, getting into it, testing the waters in like a crawl stage. I think we're starting to walk now. But that momentum is building so that we can run soon, very, very soon. And so I would definitely caution and tell people, man, don't go 0 to 100. Try to go 0 to 30. Stay in that school zone speed limit before you start ratcheting it up to highway speed. just so that you don't burn yourself out at the beginning of this thing, but also so that you can kind of keep the anticipation there. I think anticipation has been working highly in our favor so far, which has been cool to see. And really, that just goes back to that value statement. We're going to crawl before we walk and walk before we run. So definitely using that as a framework for our thinking.
Cool. Well, yeah, those are awesome. And I know that there was a specific app that y'all used for the dance video. And I want underneath our video here in the comments or in the description to plug in a couple of resources for churches to easily access. What was the name of that app?
Oh boy, I don't know.
Way.
Yeah. And you can literally be anybody and make this happen. I'm actually surprised it hasn't blown up more than it has. This
Right.
was, I stole from somebody else. It gives you a few prompts. You move side to side and back and forth, and then it creates a little avatar for you, and you pick a dance, and it dances for you. So it makes you look like you're dancing, kind of, and it's a lot of fun. So we all did that. Our senior pastor even did it. Our executive pastor did it, which I thought was a huge move. It was great for him and great for people to see him being goofy. And so, yeah, for sure. Let's drop that in the comments.
Cool.
And that's an iPhone only, though. I did learn that. I've been told it's an iPhone only app. So you can prove me wrong. That would be awesome. But
before we move off of this topic, I want to dive a little bit deeper into what it is that y'all are doing, because you're saying, hey, go out and do this trick shot. And I guess what you're doing is encouraging the students to film themselves doing that and send it into you. What are you then doing with those things that they're sending into you, whether it's their drawing of whatever, or their trick shot or their dance video? How are y'all using that once you get it?
So if you're new to social media, there's this thing called tagging, where you literally have to it's a button that you push, or you mention the profile in the video or the drawing via typing it in before you push send. And so for everything we're doing, we are having people mention our student ministry page, which is at First Burleson Students on Instagram. And then we've also got a hashtag for the Tuesday, Thursday, hashtag COVID crazies. And what that hashtag is, the number sign, is £. And what that does is it allows us, it's essentially like a filing system online, where if you click COVID crazies, anyone who is posted with that hashtag that post can be found later on. So it's just a filing system. We frankly came up with that hashtag like on the fly in the hallway a couple weeks ago. But it was lucky for us because it's not a very well used hashtag. Like there's 23 posts and we may be half of those. And so we kind of lucked into that. If you do something that's too familiar and too overly used, you could have like millions of people using the same hashtag. It'd be hard to file away and find things. But tagging people, videotaping or taking pictures of what they're doing and then tagging us in it, then allows us to turn around and share it on our page or push it out in posts. And so we've been very intentional with that. And that's just kind of a 411 basics of social media. So if you're new to the game, that's something to know and to put into use for sure.
Cool. So I've noticed on y'all's like Instagram stories that you'll like post the like results of things that you're getting back. And I think that's great because what you're allowing people to do is see each other whenever they're distant, and it's on a public platform, which that's what the church is. It's a public platform where on Sundays we were seeing one another and getting to interact, and now that's not happening. And so you're getting people to interact with one another, see one another on your social media platform. And so that's really great. So people are still feeling connected. They're also being competitive and challenging one another. So it's a great way to increase fellowship and still help people feel connected, which is really important right now. Do you have anything else to say about being creative over social media before we move on to our next topic?